Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Phil Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're looking at the PlayStation Vita. Or rather, we're looking at games that are on the PlayStation Vita that should totally be ported over to the Nintendo Switch. Or rather, the reason for this is because, if you look at it just carefully, the Vita looks kind of like a Switch itself, except that these don't come off. And I thought, well, this was suggested by a loyal viewer, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And, well, you know what? I thought I'd make this video. So I was looking at what to do with this video, and I realized that there really isn't a lot of exclusive stuff to the Vita. There are some Sony exclusives, but there isn't really a lot of stuff for the Vita that's exclusive to it that isn't on the 3DS or on PC or PlayStation 4 or Xbox One or whatnot. And I realized I'm going to have to make this a little bit differently. I'm going to use all physical because a lot of the digital stuff like Limbo or Thomas Was Alone or Rogue Legacy or whatnot, you might see anyways. I mean, come on. Do you think you're not going to get SteamWorld Dig or SteamWorld Heist on the PlayStation Switch? Do you think you're not going to get any Shantae games on that? Of course you are. Those companies are great about porting things. And, you should throw your money at them when they port those over because those are fantastic. But yeah, I realized that maybe I should make this list as a list of, PlayStation Vita and 3DS games that should be ported over to the Switch. Now, there is a precedent for 3DS games making it to the Switch. In fact, one of the things you can see on the Switch is Lego City Undercover. Weirdly enough, that was already announced. That is going to the Switch as well as all sorts of other devices. We're also going to get weird special editions like a Mario Kart, maybe Super Smash Brothers. We know there's Splatoon, maybe Super Mario Maker. But yeah, let's get into 3DS and Vita games. And we're only going with physical ones here that should be ported over to the Nintendo Switch. Some of these are whole series. That's why you'll note that there's like a weird little look to that. See, look at that. Let's start with over here on this end. These aren't really in any particular order, but I felt that I just kind of placed them down in sections, and this is just kind of the order they ended up in. But yeah, let's take a look at one of the games that I'm just going to do the top 10 PS Vita and 3DS games that should be ported over to the Switch. Let's start with Danganronpa. Now, Trigger Happy Havoc, Danganronpa, its sequel, and the third one are coming to PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4, and they're good games, and they should show up on the Switch. If you haven't played these ones, think a twisted version of Ace Attorney a la Battle Royale with weird anime tropes. Pretty interesting stuff, pretty weirdly compelling, and definitely worth checking out. And hey, they're on PC as well. I think most of them are, and they will be on PlayStation 4. So yeah, they should be on the Switch, so you can play them on a real system. Also, because they'll look good on that. Now let's see, what's number 9 on my list? Well, this one will come as a surprise to some people. Codename Steam. If you played Codename Steam, come on, there you go. If you played Codename Steam, you'll note that it's actually a pretty good game. It was marred because people were like, we want a new Fire Emblem. And this was not a new Fire Emblem until Fire Emblem Fates was announced. This particular steampunk H.P. Lovecraft style, Valkyrie Knight style game was just amazing. I thought it was pretty good. There were problems with the monster's turns, but if you had a new 3DS and the updates for it, that kind of fixed that. I think this one could use a little bit more polish, maybe some better multiplayer options, and it really should be on the Nintendo Switch. Codename Steam should be ported to the Nintendo Switch. Maybe some type of deluxe version. And honestly, yeah, it was really good. I really liked the content in this game. I liked the story. I liked the settings. the only real reason people were so down on this one is because it wasn't Fire Emblem. And they wanted Fire Emblem. I know it's not Fire Emblem, but Codename Steam deserves a second chance. It deserves a remaster, and it deserves to be loved. Also, this game is really cheap right now at GameStop, so you should go pick it up if you haven't already. It's like $8. Anyways, Codename Steam. Now let's move on to this next one. This one's going to be a little bit controversial, but I really think that we should definitely bravely switch. You know what I mean? Bravely Default and Bravely Second and Lair. The Bravely series, which has a mobile game coming out, or already out, I'm not sure, is pretty fantastic. And a lot of the stuff and the little gimmicks that it uses would work fine on the Switch. I think there should be a Bravely Switch. Why not port the first two to the Switch with HD graphics? And maybe fix some of the pacing on like the last half of Bravely Default. I mean, I actually didn't mind that at all, but a lot of people did. Maybe find a way to add some story stuff in there to make that a little bit bearable for some people. And yeah, Bravely Default and Bravely Second are fantastic games, and they deserve to be in HD on the Nintendo Switch. Come on. And you could still use the sleep stuff and the Street Pass stuff too to build that. Who knows? We don't know if the Switch will have anything like Street Pass in it, but if it does, this would be great. And there's also microtransactions in there. Microtransactions. Square Enix. But yeah, Bravely Default and Bravely Second deserve to be on the Switch. Now, the next one on this relies kind of heavily on the idea that the Nintendo Switch will have a touchscreen. And that would be the Art Academy series of games. I mean, we have Art Academy, Pokemon Art Academy, Disney Art Academy. These are titles that should be on the Switch, especially if it works well with nice capacitive styluses, like the capacitive touch styluses. I mean, you can make some really nice stuff on Art Academy with the touch base, with the pressure sensitive styluses. A good capacitive stylus, or one that even allows for like hand canceling or whatnot, could be good. This would be an excellent series to bring over. I mean, they could even debut a stylus or something for the Switch if it does indeed have a touchscreen, specifically to bundle it in with Art Academy. That would be a great idea, because I feel that Art Academy really is a series that it teaches the basic fundamentals of art creation. It teaches art theory, which so many people don't have these days. They just kind of tend to trace. But with this, you could teach art theory to kids and to adults and to anyone who needs to learn it. And I am all for more creative tools. If there was a Korg thing for the 3DS, I would show it. It would be right next on the list. But since there isn't, the next one up on the list is... oh, this is an odd one. Yomawari and the Firefly Diary. Firefly Diary is a little tricky to make work, but Yomawari would definitely work. And that upcoming one, A Rose in Twilight, could work out well too. I really love the art style of this particular game. The sound design, the way it looks, it's fantastic. And hey, it wouldn't be right to not port this to the Switch. Such pretty graphics, and such a great game. You should check it out. Yomawari, A Night Alone. Pretty great. Now this next one is also going to be a little controversial, but there's a reason for it. Let's grab these right here. This one actually was ported to, I didn't put the DS one on here because then that would make it too obvious about what this is. But what these are here, the Zero Escape series. These are fantastic, and we're getting a PC version of the first one with enhancements and a Vita version of the first one with enhancements. But yeah, they really should port over Virtue's Last Reward, Zero Time to Limit, and 999, 9 persons, 9 hours, 9 doors. The Zero Escape series would be an excellent use of your Switch time. You could it's just a good idea. And the fact that this is a series that's getting a new installment, or rather a remix of an older installment, in 2017, that's a perfect excuse to go ahead and port the old ones to it. Oh, I do want to note something about the Switch that I like. The Switch has nice hefty cartridges. Game cards, I mean. I don't like the paper-thin cards that are a little more difficult to store for the Vita. I like these hefty ones that the 3DS has. And it looks like the Switch will continue that hefty cartridge thing, which is nice. But yeah, it would be really nice to see the Zero Escape series on the Nintendo Switch. Also, it fills a little bit of a void that the consoles don't normally have. I mean, visual novels aren't as readily available on the consoles as they could be. You see them all the time on the Vita and some on the 3DS and on PC, but the consoles need more visual novels. And speaking of visual novels, this next one should come as no surprise to people that I kind of want these particular games to be ported over. And these would be Persona and Shin Megami Tensei. You know what? If they put out a Shin Megami Tensei 4 compilation that had Shin Megami Tensei 4 and Shin Megami Tensei 4 Apocalypse on the same game card for the Nintendo Switch, that would instantly sell the Nintendo Switch for so many hardcore RPG fans. And while they've denied that Persona 5 will come to it, yeah, I sort of believe them. It would be nice to see Persona 1, 2, 3, 4 come out for it too. And all the Shin Megami Tensei stuff. Just Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, bring it to the Switch. Especially these two. I mean, just bundle them together in one Switch card, upscale the graphics a bit, pretty it up a bit more. Yeah, that would be the stuff. It wouldn't sell a lot to the mass market, but to the people in the know, that would cement their pre-order for the Nintendo Switch so quickly. Anyways, let's put those back down over here for a moment and move on to our next, also kind of controversial series that I would like to see ported to the Switch. Now, the Switch is a home console, so sometimes costs for home console development can be a little bit higher than costs for portable development. But it's also a portable, so in that regard, maybe we should get a portable-centered series to show up on the Switch. In particular, I'm talking about Project X Zone. Project X Zone and Project X Zone 2, amazing games. I would love a Project X Zone title on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, come on. These series are not the most in-depth in terms of story, and some of their systems are annoying, but these are fun. These are really fun games. It's just stupid fun, and it really should be on the Nintendo Switch. Because the Nintendo Switch should be stupid fun. Stupid fun that you can take with you. Oh, these next three here are just because, one, I love them on the screen, on the OLED screen, and on the IPS screen. And I do like them on, like, PlayStation TV, but I really would like to see these games make it to the Switch. And these three games here are Odin Sphere, Muramasa, and Dragon's Crown. Vanillaware style games that really should be on the Switch. Particularly Odin Sphere and Muramasa and Dragon's Crown. They look gorgeous on HD systems. They look gorgeous on games on systems like the Vita, and they would look gorgeous on the Switch. Also, hey, any excuse to rebuy them. They're good things. And Vanillaware should be on the Nintendo Switch. I would love an original title from them for the Nintendo Switch. That would be fantastic. But yeah, that brings us to number 10 on our list, which is actually a 3DS game. And it's been rumored, but I would still love to see it. And I'm sorry to keep you waiting, but it is Kid Icarus Uprising. You know, I actually like the control scheme on Kid Icarus Uprising, but I can see how some people would have difficulty with it. I mean, yeah, if this has a touchscreen, there should be some kind of touchscreen thing where you aim and fire with the touchscreen and then move with like the left or right thing. There's also pointer controls apparently rumored on the Switch, and if there are pointer controls on the Switch, yeah, we need Kid Icarus Uprising yesterday. Or today, because today they're going to announce some more stuff for the Switch. Today is that big conference, and golly, I would love to see a Kid Icarus port or a brand new Kid Icarus game. Because this game, this beautiful game, is so underrated on the Nintendo 3DS. I love it. I had no problems with the control scheme, mainly because I use a ridiculously oversized stylus, like the one that came with the DSi XL. And I used the little stand, and I had headphones and all that, and just kind of immersed myself in this title. It took a little bit of getting used to at first, but once I did, it was a fantastic ride, and this is my number one title that I would love to see released or ported to the Nintendo Switch. Some of my other runner-ups were Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and any of the Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi titles, which I forgot to take them out of the box. But yeah, there you go. I want Danganronpa. I want some new Codename Steam. I need some Bravely Default and Bravely Second and I just need Bravely Switch. I really love some Art Academy. Definitely Yomawari at least. Zero Escape needs to be there. The Shin Megami Tensei and Persona series needs to be there. Project X Zone should totally be there. I need some Vanillaware in my life. And my number one, though, is Kid Icarus Uprising. I would love a new Kid Icarus game. That game is so good. I mean, it was every level in it was a joy. Which, by the way, Kirby Planet Robobot is another one where, like, the Kirby games, we need some on the Switch, and those ones, like that one, was a joy to play from every level. I had no problems with Kid Icarus, and like I said, every level, every chapter was better than the last. It just kept escalating and being awesome. But yeah, those are the games that are on the 3DS and the PS Vita right now that I would love to see ported to the Nintendo Switch. What is your opinion of it? What games do you think should be on the Switch that aren't or weren't announced? We don't know yet, because this is happening, we are recording this the day of that event. We won't know what's in the event while we're doing this. So, who knows? But yeah, what games would you like to see ported to the Nintendo Switch? From the 3DS and Vita, or even the DS library of games? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this with your friends. And hit that little bell to let you know when we have new videos. And until the next new video comes out, you are now caught up.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.